morning, everyone. Just wait for our friends to come in. Hello. Thank you for waving. Oh, I see a friend who has a book.
Everybody's getting set up, getting ready to go.
But Miss Katie and I are very excited to be here with you.
We were just talking about how snowy it is outside today and how that's perfect for our project. Definitely a winter wonderland right now.
So grown-ups, just to help you get ready before we get officially started, we are going to go a little backwards from what we usually do. So we're going to start with our painting part, because that needs some time to dry. Then Miss Katie will do her story time for us, and then we'll finish our art. So that's going to be the order of everything. We're so excited to see so many friends.
Definitely a good way to start the day.
Okay, so we'll get started here. So for your supplies in your kit, you should have been given, for each person, 4 sheets of paper, a paintbrush, a little water cup, a package of salt, a squeegee, some glue dots, and then everybody should have gotten 4 colors of paint. And for some extra things that you should get from home, you need scissors. We'll use these later. You'll want some paper towels. And, oh, I just realized, let me change my pin. There we go, so you can see all my things. And you'll need just a little bit of water. So paint, paper, squeegee, glue dots, salt, a little bowl, your paintbrush, a little bit of water, paper towels, scissors, and then hopefully you have something to protect your clothes or clothes that can be messy, and then hopefully something to cover wherever you're working, or it's just a place that can be messy. So we're going to start with the part where we need our paint. I'm going to move everything to the side. You'll need 1 piece of paper. You'll probably want your paper towels, and you'll need your squeegee. So this is how we're going to start preparing or prepping our paper that will turn into the trees for our landscape. So you can decide whatever order you want your paint to be in. I'm going to start with dark blue. I'm going to go to light blue, light green, and then dark green. Before you even open it, let's give it a good shake. I see everybody shaking their paint. Yes, good job. Get it all mixed up. Okay. Now this paint is a little watery, so we want to tip it slowly to the side. And we're going to start at the top of our paper on the left side. And we're going to draw a little line of paint. Just about a quarter of the way down. So go slowly and take your time. And once you have the paint on there, you can close up your lid and we'll start shaking our next paint. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing and open it. Slowly tip it. And then do a little line. And your paint can mix right there. It's okay if they layer. Gonna shake my green. Little line of the light green. And then finally my dark green. Miss Katie is turning this into a dance. Okay. A paper towel, wipe my hands. I will paint on them. Once you're all done with your paint from top to bottom, you're going to need your squeegee or anything that has a nice straight edge. So if you don't have a squeegee, you could always use an old credit card or a really nice heavy piece of paper. So I'm gonna take my squeegee and start to the left of my paint line. And we're going to slowly drag it across while we're pressing down. Okay, when I get to the end, I'm gonna wipe off that extra paint. Or you could try not, see what happens. It would look different. And then I'm gonna start on the bottom, and so I get the rest of the paint. So press down and across. And everybody's design, even if we use the same exact colors in the same order, is gonna look just a little different. So I'm going to put this up to the side to let it dry. I'm gonna use one of my paper towels, clean up my workspace a little. And then you'll want to get another sheet of paper. This is when you need your cup, your little paint bowl. And you can decide, we're gonna paint a sky. So you can decide if you want it to be dark blue or the light blue, or you could even mix some colors together. So it's all up to you. But you're gonna put, so I'm gonna start with the light blue. I'm gonna put just a little bit more. And then I'm gonna try a little bit of green, just a dot. And then with just a little bit of that water, we're gonna make this really thin. Add some water. And with your paintbrush, you can start to stir that up. So if you like the color you have and you think this will be a good color for your sky, you can stop there. If you think, say, I want a little darker blue, so I'm going to add just a little bit of that. Stir it up. A little more light. And this is great because it's your own imagination. Okay, I like this color for my sky. Now, the white parts are going to be snow, and then we'll make our sky. So you could have just a straight line. So maybe you just have a nice flat field covered in snow. Or maybe you have a hill or two. So you could do like camel humps kind of. Or maybe you just have one hill. Maybe go up and come down. But you're going to take some of your paint and brush it off the side just a little. And figure out where you want your sky to start. So I'm going to go across, make a little hill, and that's going to be my line. And then I'm just going to swirl and paint, take that paint up into the sky. You can swirl your paintbrush along, make it look like there's kind of wind. If you don't like how this looks, maybe you want a little less of a hill. You could go back and redraw your line. Okay. So once your sky is all painted in, and while your paint is still damp, you want to get your envelope that has salt in it. And you're going to get a little bit of salt. And then kind of like with glitter, you're just going to sprinkle it on your paint. And as your paint dries, the salt will stick to it. And it kind of looks like there's snow in the air. So this is going to be the background for my picture. You can see the salt. It looks a little blustery out there. Okay. So once you're done with that part, you can put that to the side to let it dry. Are you ready, Miss Katie?
I am.
Okay.
Wax my hands off a little bit. All right, my friends. So I have a couple of songs and a story all about a snowy day, just to go along with our theme and of course our weather outside right now. So the song I want to start with is a little bit of a mixed up version of a song that I think you all probably know. So how many of you have sung Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes before? Yeah? All right, well, we are gonna mix it up a little bit today, and we're gonna sing about some of the things that you would wear when you go outside on a really cold, snowy winter day. Because you can't just go out in your t-shirt and your jeans and your shoes, right? We've gotta wear special clothes to protect ourselves and to keep us nice and warm. So we are going to sing about our hat. So that's our winter hat that we're putting on our head, our mittens on our hands, our scarf that we're gonna put around our neck, and our boots that are gonna go on our feet. Are you ready? We'll start out slow and then we'll see if maybe we can do it one time a little bit faster. Here we go. Hat, mittens, scarf and boots, scarf and boots. Hat, mittens, scarf and boots, scarf and boots. When it's cold and we go out to play, we wear hats, mittens, scarves and boots, scarves and boots. All right, what do you think? Can we try it one more time a little bit faster? Okay, ready? Hats, mittens, scarves and boots, scarves and boots. Hats, mittens, scarves and boots, scarves and boots. When it's cold and we go out to play, we wear hats, mittens, scarves and boots, scarves and boots. All right, now the story that I have for us today is very short, but it's a little bit of a guessing game, so that's why I picked it. And it's called Making Tracks in the Snow. I'm going to adjust just a little bit here. I'm going to bring you a little bit closer. So this is by Cocoretto, and you can see that we're going to find some special tracks in the snow. So take a look. Who's making tracks? What do you think it could be? Take a look. It's Alyssa gliding on her snowboard. So you can see she made a big, wide line all the way down the hill, right? All right, let's take a look next. Who's making tracks? What do you think those look like? Yeah, I think that you are right with your guesses. It's a polar bear. So you can see the bear's foot and then the marks from their claws, right? As they go across the snow, maybe looking for a snack or getting ready to take a nap. All right, who's making tracks now? This one's a little bit different because I see two parallel lines. What do you think that could be? Oh, that looks so fun. It's Jen sliding on her sled. So how come there were two tracks? Because there's two runners at the bottom of her sled, right? So that makes a different pattern in the snow. Who's making tracks? What do you think about that one? Yeah, you're right. That one is a bird. It's Rio the robin looking for worms. So those tracks look a little bit different than the polar bears because Rio's got 3 little toes on her foot. All right, we've got one more. Who is making tracks? What do you think about that one? There's a lot going on there, right? What could it be? I think it almost looks like a railroad track, but that wouldn't go in the snow. What do you think it could be? Oh, it's Sam driving a snowmobile. So you can see there's a big tread on the back of the snowmobile, and that's what made that special print in the snow. That was really good guessing. I'm impressed. All right, that's one of the fun things about the snow is that you can go out, you can clay, make a snow person, and you can also make patterns in the snow with your boots or with a stick, or you can even take like a squeeze bottle with water and practice writing or drawing shapes in the snow. I'm not gonna lie, winter is not my favorite season, but it can be really fun to go outside and play sometimes. All right, we're gonna wrap up with one more song. This is gonna be a good one for our hands and our fingers. This one is called See the Snowflakes, and we're gonna sing it to the tune of Frere Jacques. So we're gonna start moving our fingers up and down, just like snowflakes kind of falling out of the sky. And we'll sing, see the snowflakes, see the snowflakes floating down, floating down. All right, now I want you to take it as slowly as you possibly can. Oh, so very slowly. Oh, so very slowly. And then reach up and take it all the way down to the ground, to the ground. All right, do you think we can try it again and go really quickly this time? All right, let me see you move your fingers fast. See the snowflakes falling down, oh so very quickly to the ground, to the ground. Whew. All right, we're gonna try one more. Now I want you to imagine these are really, really big snowflakes. They're really, really heavy. So we're gonna take our hands, we're gonna curl them into fists, and we're gonna shake them up and down this way and sing, see the snowflakes falling down, oh so very heavily, oh so very heavily to the ground, to the ground. Nice. All right, so hopefully that got your bodies and your hands and your fingers warmed up a little bit. So now we're ready to check in with our projects and see what our next step is going to be.
Thank you so much, Miss Katie. That was so much fun, and I'm ready for our next part. Okay. So you should have your background, and it's mostly dry. And then you should have your special squeegee paper. Now mine is still a little wet, so I'm gonna take my paper towel and just lay it across and press it where it's wet, absorb some of the extra paint, but the rest of it is nice and dry. And we are going to use this paper to make our trees. So we have our glue dots. We have 10 glue dots, 2 for each tree. So if we count, we're gonna have 1 tree, 2 trees, 3 trees, 4, and 5 trees. So with your scissors, you're going to be cutting out triangles of all different sizes. And we need 5 of them. We need 5 triangles to make our trees. So you can decide how big you want your triangles to be. I would suggest making 2 or 3 big triangles, so big trees, and then the rest can be small trees. So go ahead with your grown-up if you need some help. We're gonna cut our triangles out. I'm gonna start down here, and I'm gonna make a tall, skinny triangle. Like that. So I have 1 tree. Then I think I want a tree that has a little more blue. I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna make a short and squat tree. So it's gonna be very wide at the bottom, wide at the base. Here's my triangle, and we know that triangles always have how many sides? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. They have 3 sides. That's a triangle. Okay. So I think using the paper down here, I'm gonna make a short, really skinny triangle. I'm doing it differently. I did it kind of upside down. And then I'm going to make one really big. If I look at this on my paper, it's going to take up a lot of room. So I think I'm going to trim it just a little. These are all decisions you can make while you're figuring it out. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. How many more do I need to get to 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need one more triangle. So you decide what colors you want it to have. Do you want it to be a big triangle or a little triangle? A triangle right here. Look, it's a little bit lopsided, but that's okay because if you look outside, none of the trees are perfectly shaped. They're all very unique, just like each of us. Okay, now I'm ready for my background. So before we put the glue dots on these, I want to talk about something called perspective. The perspective is when something that is far away can look really small, even if it's big. And when it's close to you, it can look big. So our pictures can have perspective if we put a big tree here. And we can see like our tree is really close to us because of how much ground it's taking. But if I put some of my smaller trees over here, right at kind of the crest of our hill, then maybe those trees are still big, but because they are towards the back of my art, they look smaller. And then maybe I have a little tree here. And then I could put a medium tree here. So I want you to lay your trees out, play with where they go, because that is your decision. They can overlap each other, because that happens. If you want, you could just have your trees kind of straight in rows by themselves. If you wanted to be a little bit different, you could even have your tree coming off of the paper. So it's up to you how your trees are arranged on your picture, because this is from your imagination. Okay, once you have your trees in place, then it's time for our glue dots. And the way to use these glue dots, and you might need your grown-up for help, is you just press it out of the backing. You'll take the paper off one side. And we're going to use, turn our tree over and press your dot to the back. So one at the bottom and one dot towards the top.
What makes these dots special, Heidi?
These dots are special. That's such a great question, Katie, because since they're thicker than using regular glue, they give us some depth and dimension to our art. So they don't just sit flat against the paper, they kind of come away from the paper.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you for asking that.
I think this is going to turn out to look really special.
It is. And if you don't have glue dots, you could just use regular glue. That's okay. That's why we gave you extra paper. So you can do this one. And then if you want to do another, you can try doing another piece. So you can take off that extra paper backing and then just press it down onto your background. And you'll repeat that with each tree. While you're working, I want you to think about something that you love to do in the snow or outside when it's cold. Because in a little bit, we're going to do some raised hands and we'll let people unmute so they can share. Just to give you an example, I know that when it's cold outside, my favorite activity is not outside. I like to sit inside. I have 2 cats and we snuggle up cozy and I read a book on the couch, but I love to watch the snow fall. When I was little though, my favorite thing was going sledding. I always loved going sledding. How about you, Miss Katie? You said it's not your favorite.
No, winter's not my favorite season. But when I was younger, one of my neighbors and I would build snow forts. So when we'd have like a really big snow, and the snow plows would come on the street and they would push a whole bunch of snow into the part of your yard that's like right next to the street. Then we would go out with, shovels and cups and all different stuff, and we would make a little space in the middle of the snowbank where we could crawl in, and then we could sit inside. And that was always a lot of fun. But I don't like being cold. So fall is definitely my favorite season. But I have a friend who says there's no bad weather, there's only bad clothes. So even when it's really, really super, super frosty out, we can still get all bundled up and be able to go for a walk or to play outside and still be comfortable.
Okay, so here is nothing's gonna fall off. All my trees are there. I have my nice snowy ground and my blue sky with the snow.
Thanks for following along. Please share your project with us on social media or by sending it to us by email.